If you frequently find yourself being locked out of the map or in a rough spot, chances are you're not using your TP scroll properly. Mastering TP scroll usage is one of the most crucial aspects of improving in Dota, and in this video we will be covering that. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first example we will be taking is a lane TP. So in this clip, you can see that the Timbersaw is level 6 and the Clinks is level 5. So Timbersaw has a serious kill threat on the Clinks. As you can see here, he's constantly pressuring the Clinks, but since Wyvern is there, he's in a fine spot. After this point, in my opinion, the Clinks should just leave the lane, but you will see here that Clinks ends up feeding here, and after that, what you want to focus on is where he TPs right after he dies. So he TPs back into this lane. What I want you to focus on is his net worth. So if you see here, he's 3168 net worth at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. That's when he TP'd. TP'd on a Timbersaw who's level 6. Since Timbersaw is level 6 and now he's level 7, he does not care about this Clinks. So since these Clinks TP'd here, he's constantly being pressured by the Timbersaw, and while all this is happening, he is not able to farm. Eventually, he will be forced to go back to the jungle because he's just like super low health. What I want you to look at is, in like a minute or so, he only farmed around like 150 gold. Like 250 gold or 150 gold. That's all he farmed in a minute. Instead of like TPing here, what he should have done is that he should have like walked here and farmed this, maybe let the Timber take this tower, or if one of his teammates come back here, then he can also join and like push this in. That way he can potentially farm more than 450 gold at this stage because he has like max Q. Not only that, since he did go bot and he's being pressured, his offlane Pudge was forced to TP bottom. And since he TP'd bottom, this lane is completely free for the monkey. As you can see, it's already top net worth, which just increases it. And not only that, for the next minute, Pudge doesn't have a TP. And this monkey is like completely pressure free. They cannot kill him. So because Clinks TP like this, he's kind of stuck here, and this is what happens. Now he's going back to the jungle. So please don't do this. For the second example, we're going to be looking at this Monkey King. So he gets ganked there and he dies. And after that, he's like on a 20-second death timer, and when he respawns, he instantly TPs back bot. So in higher MMR, like whenever someone TPs like this, especially a core hero, the enemy team realizes that this guy just died and he just like TP'd bottom. So what they do is that they usually smoke to punish this guy for TPing here or make some other maneuver. So usually you don't TP like this. You either walk to a lane, then show and make them smoke, and then you just dodge it with your TP, or you just like hide for a second. So what happens here is that Monkey King shows here, and as soon as Mars comes back up, as you can see here, the enemy team, they instantly smoke, and then they move towards bottom lane because they know that Monkey TP there he's showing, and they know that he's just like kind of stuck here. He cannot just go back here, and he's kind of going to be here. So they smoke, they come back here, they kill him, and Monkey now is like kind of in a really rough spot. As you can see here that he ends up dying. So what the problem with this TP was that he TP'd to farm, but the problem is that when you play against good players, when you play against high rank players, this is like I think a 7k average game, these players will smoke and gank you if you show in your lanes. So whenever you're TPing in after the laning stage, you could call it mid game, make sure that you don't reveal this information to the enemy. Like if you want to TP to a tier 2, or like show in a lane when you have your TP. Like you can TP here and farm this, but only show in a lane when you have a TP, because as soon as the enemy sees you, they're going to smoke and try to kill you. And if you can read that smoke, usually they're going to be missing from the map. You can TP back to the other side of the map, and then you just like farm here for a full minute for free because they already made their move. So this is a second example where you should not TP like this to a lane when the enemy has this info on you. For the third example, we're going to be looking at this Phantom Lancer player. As you can see here, his team is getting ganked because the Radiant smoked on him. And you can see here he's still farming. He has a Midas. He doesn't really want to fight at this stage of the game. And also he's against like a Brewmaster mid, a Void, a safe lane, and a Pudge. So it's like it's not the best of the PL games. He needs to like be completely, he needs to have a heart. He needs some farm before he can do anything. So what happens there is that he dodges the gank, and his team does end up feeding for it. But what the problem is that he TP's top without looking at the Brewmaster's position, right? Brewmaster doesn't show the entire fight, and Brewmaster is like a serious threat to the Phantom Lancer because he can just get rid of the illusions. So the thing is that PL has this ward, so he can see where these guys are going. So what he can do is that he can just chill here, wait for them to leave, go back to his triangle, and if there are no creeps, he can just go back here and farm this or like push this in. But since he decided that he needs to like instantly TP top because they showed here, which is what he was thinking, he thinks that he's like scot-free. He got out scot-free and he can just farm here. But the problem is that Brewmaster never showed anywhere in the fight, or now Brewmaster comes here because he understands that PL just TP'd here. He comes in and he just like kills the PL. So basically, you wanna mimic what your counter pick is doing. So if let's say this Brewmaster is a good counter pick to you, you wanna play opposite to him. As soon as he shows up on some opposite side of the map, you wanna play opposite to him so that you can constantly farm up. Because as a carry, especially when you have a Midas and stuff, you don't wanna be like playing against your counterpart, obviously. So these are like some kind of TPs that you can avoid doing. To summarize all of this, I want to make sure you guys have some understanding of how you want to use your TP scrolls and how you don't want to use them. So basically, when you save your TP scroll, it means that you will have more opportunities when it comes. Like, you'll know where you want to TP to avoid ganks and stuff. But if you use your TP in a bad spot, sometimes you're just going to get stuck there. And if the enemy is there, then you just like, you get nothing. So saving TPs is mostly the right thing to do. Unless there's like a huge wave near tower, or there's like a rush fight going on where you need to TP to directly. Otherwise, or you have to like stack or something, like Ancients. Otherwise, you should like always walk to a lane. And when the enemy sees that you're in that lane and they come to gank you, you dodge the gank and TP on the opposite side of the map. This way you get like a lot of free map space for yourself. Not only that, your team also gets some space. So this is usually why people save TPs all the time. So yeah, this is it for this video. If you have any questions or anything, you can ask in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching the video. Hope it was helpful for you. Take care.